He said that Jesus Christ has risen, and he is the open door.
How you doing, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show, where I talk about life, talk about liberty, and talk about the pursuit of happiness, and show the world that us Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day, good week, wherever you're located. You just have to remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. If you remember that, you will have a great day, a great week. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to realize that we have a creator and that he wants us to have great things. And sometimes with our bad days, we just gotta remember that he is in the center of everything. So whatever's going on, if you put your faith and trust in him and him alone, you should be all right and you should make it through. Hope everyone's having a good Monday afternoon. This is we usually release our episodes on Monday mornings. Had some things happen that I could not be in the studio until now, the time of the recording, because of it was funny, okay, because I had a great week. We went to Baton Rouge majority of last week, and it was the family camp at Jimmy Swagger Ministries. Got to see I got to see some good friends that I haven't seen in a long while. Had some fun, and Sunday I was just beat, and that's when I normally record, is on Sunday afternoons. Was supposed to come in here Sunday night, didn't happen. Came in early Monday morning, was congested, did not feel I could give 110%, and that's what I want. I want to give you, the audience, 110%. You take your time and you come and listen to this program. And I know we probably messed up some of your routine, and I apologize for that. But I just want to make sure I can do this 110%. 110%. If I can't give you 110%, I don't want to do it. And that's why we're here now. I took some meds. I'm feeling great. I'm excited to be here, and I cannot wait to spend some time with you. Thank you, as always, for listening to the program. Please share the program out with your friends and your family. Go ahead and share it on Facebook. I don't mind y'all doing that. I love when y'all do that. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to go ahead and help us out financially. There is a link in the description of this podcast where you have an opportunity to share your to give us some financial help if you desire to do so. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start our program off. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot going on right now, especially in the Hunter Biden case. We have a witness that at this time is witnessing in front of Congress. This is a longtime associate of Hunter Biden. His name is Devin Archer. He was a vice president with the Biden Seneca. He, with Burisma, he was a close friend of Hunter Biden, and they worked together. So he's going to be talking in front of the Congress, and what we're hearing right now is that he's going to tell about meetings that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden took together. Ladies and gentlemen, if this testimony is correct, this shows that Joe Biden, the president, knew more than he was saying. You remember, all on the campaign trail. I don't know what Hunter Biden does. I don't know what his relationship with Burisma is. I never had dealings. I've never even talked to him while he was on these board meetings and all that. He didn't know nothing. But now we're starting to know that a lot of this stuff has happened according to some whistleblowers and people that have decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and take the plunge, and we're going to say, look, we know something, and we want to go ahead and give our testimony. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because, ladies and gentlemen, something interesting happened over the weekend. And that was that the DOJ, yes, the Department of Justice, remember, the Department of Justice is supposed to be blind. They're supposed to treat everybody equally. This is one of the Democrats' arguments with the Trump indictments, and we're going to be talking about that in a little while, how it's tutorial again. And look, I'm not trying to beat on a dead horse here. It's just, it's funny how this stuff's playing out, and I can show you the hypocrisy of this. But our DOJ that's supposed to be blind and supposed to treat everybody equally, like we said with the Trump indictments, every Democrat says that no one's above the law. That's why they're going after Donald Trump, because Donald Trump broke the law, and not even the president of the United States should be above the law. If he done something wrong, we have to go ahead and we have to judge him according to our laws. And look, some truth to that, but it's funny how when the Democrats say that about the Republicans or the former president Donald Trump, but when it's their people or it's when it's somebody that they like, the rules get changed. Like I said, going back to what I was saying, the DOJ over the weekend sent a letter to a judge in the Southern District of New York, and in the letter it was requested that the U.S. District Judge Ronnie Abrams to schedule a date for Hunter's former business partner, Devin Archer, to report to prison after the jury convicted him of defaming a Native American tribe and Virtuous Investments advisory clients of tens of millions of dollars. Archer's sentence has been postponed due to several appeals from his legal counsel. So, ladies and gentlemen, now, did he do this? He was convicted. Yes, he should go to jail. But it's kind of funny how the Department of Justice, the people that are supposed to make sure that justice prevails and that things are done right in the government that we operate in, all of a sudden wants this man to be sentenced to jail as soon as possible. It's funny how they sent it to the judge over the weekend. Odd timing, according to James Comer. James Comer said this is a very odd thing that happened. It was issued on a Saturday. And it's funny how this man was supposed to testify in front of the Congress on Monday. It's funny now how the Justice Department wants justice to prevail. They want to put this man in jail. They want to make sure that he starts to serve his sentence. Now, granted that he's in the appeals process of it, but it's funny how all of a sudden he comes out. He's going to talk to Congress about things that are happening. Now the Justice Department wants to put him in jail. It's the same thing with the last whistleblower. Remember the whistleblower that, and I can't think of his name at the moment, but he made a video, and then all of a sudden the Justice Department indicts him because they weren't planning on indicting him apparently before. Yeah, they were looking into him, but he comes out and says, I'm going to say some things against Biden and I'm fearing for my life. All of a sudden, the Justice Department wants to indict him, and if he steps foot in Washington, he goes to jail. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a reoccurrence of events. Every time a whistleblower or somebody that is close to the Bidens comes forward and says, we want to go ahead and we want to tell the story of Hunter Biden and how Joe Biden knew about this and he's possibly compromised, the DOJ comes out and says, oh, we have an indictment. Oh, we want them in jail because they committed a crime. And ladies and gentlemen, people would say, well, Biden is not using the Department of Justice for a political advantage. This shows it's happening. It's just kind of funny. Every time a whistleblower or somebody else comes out and says something bad about Hunter Biden, the Justice Department sticks their nose in it, or the FBI or some other government agency comes out and says, well, we need to look into this because this person is lying about Hunter Biden and they also got to go to jail. This is another thing. They want the world to know that, hey, this person is going to jail because he lied or he defunding a Native community, and they try to make this witness not credible. What they're trying to do is they're trying to say the Republicans are reaching for straws and they're gasping. They're just looking for something like this, and then the media does that as well. I have an article where it's MSNBC, I believe it is, that went ahead and was saying that like Joe Biden's the Joe Biden impeachment inquiries that are possibly going to happen, that the Republican Party is just grasping for straws, and they might have no evidence, but they're going to impeach Joe Biden because of political. It's all political. It's political reasons. Didn't they do the same thing with Donald Trump? Didn't they try to impeach Donald Trump because of the sole purpose to get him out of there when he proved that he did not do nothing wrong? But the Democrat Party said, heck on it, we're going to go ahead and prosecute him because he went ahead and he asked for a quick pro quo. Now we know that Joe Biden, went involved with Hunter Biden, did worse things than that. But what we're seeing is this whole justice system is politically driven. Biden is not using this he's not using the Justice Department to figure out crimes and to get to the bottom of things that was done criminally. No, he's using this to stop the investigation into Hunter Biden. If you think about it, the whole Department of Justice plan right now is not to go ahead and operate in the full extent of the law. It is to protect Hunter Biden, the FBI as well. We've seen this in these articles. And it's just kind of funny that all of a sudden this guy comes out and says, look, I'm going to testify in front of Congress. And I'm going to tell them certain things. And all of a sudden now, the Department of Justice wants him to fulfill his full time in jail. And if he's in, so I guess that they're trying to, I don't know if they're trying to create another Jeffrey Epstein episode. But ladies and gentlemen, isn't it just odd? I agree with Comer. Isn't it just odd that all of a sudden this happened? With that being said, it's proven that Hunter Biden has done multiple things that are wrong, and they're trying to hide it. But it's kind of funny that Jack Smith last week starts to bring more charges against Donald Trump. Trump charged with additional counts in special counsel's classified record probe. We also got wind that a third person was charged in the document probe. And now we're also getting the word that Donald Trump, I saw it on Truth Social today, is waiting for another indictment from Jack Smith concerning January 6th. And just think about this, ladies and gentlemen. If the Department of Justice would put that much time and effort into looking into Hunter Biden than they do with Trump, I don't think Hunter Biden would be standing right now, standing on the side corner free as a bird. He would be going to jail. But ladies and gentlemen, this just shows a tutorial justice system. We already seen that Hunter Biden is getting slap on the hand wrist. Well, and look, I'm glad that the judge decided to throw that out. It was proper. It was right. She shouldn't have allowed that deal, because that deal would immunizate Hunter Biden in so much levels of future crimes. And that's what the prosecutor apparently knew that. The defense lawyer for Hunter Biden knew that, and they were still going to go ahead and do it. And ladies and gentlemen, it ain't a tutorial justice system. Ladies and gentlemen, this is making me sick watching all this. Ladies and gentlemen, you have proved that Hunter Biden racked in millions upon millions of dollars using his father's name. But Joe Biden says, and I have an article right here that says Joe Biden's new claim about Hunter's business dealings reveal what he really thinks of voters. And this is an opinion piece, but ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden claims that he did not know nothing. He did not know nothing of Hunter Biden's business dealings. But ladies and gentlemen, it is clear right now that he did. And you know what makes me upset about all this as well, because we just talked about Donald Trump getting more indictments, is the media's outline of this. I'm going to use two stories, and I mentioned one earlier, which is I think it's MSNBC. Let me make sure. Yeah, and it was NBC's Chuck Todd worries that the GOP will accuse Biden whether they have the evidence or not. We talked about this earlier, how he's worried about there's no proof to Biden, but the Republicans are going to make up stories and make up some evidence to impeach him, which in reality is more evidence than they have for Donald Trump, but the Democrat Party did the same thing. And then you have Griffin from The View, Alyssa Griffin, is telling the GOP to stop focusing on Hunter Biden. He's not elected nor not appointed to the office. The thing of it is, Miss Griffin, you're on The View, so that tells me everything about you, that you're a rhino, and you don't have a conservative bone in your body, and I've exposed that multiple times. That's the only reason why she got on The View, because she's Republican, but she isn't conservative. And the thing of it is, we should focus on Hunter Biden, because if Joe Biden knew about it and did not do anything, that is an issue, but it's already proven that he knew about it and he participated in it, which makes him compromise to look at other people's interests better than our own, and that is an impeachable offense. I shouldn't worry about Hunter Biden. Yes, we should. Because if his daddy, the big guy, knew about all this, he is compromised. He could be told to do something that would not be in the best of Americans' interests. And look, I'm honestly thinking, let's look at Ukraine. Ukraine is a prime example of that. It's funny how we're sending money, all kind of money to Ukraine. But ladies and gentlemen, we can't take care of our veterans here in the United States, and our countrymen, our citizens of our country is suffering. They can't hardly pay bills. They can hardly buy food. But the people in Ukraine deserve all our taxpayer dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something fishy going on in Denmark. And that is called Washington, D.C. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back in a few moments. How you doing, everyone? Isaac Hayes here, host of Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative. Are you in the market for a new or used golf cart? Look no further. Cajun Cart has the karting companion you're looking for. Located at 3023 Northwest Avenger Thruway in Lafayette, Louisiana, Cajun Cart is your authorized club car, easy-go, Cushman, and Gorilla dealer. When dealing with Cajun Carts, you're not only purchasing a product or service, but you're also investing in the name. Serving the Acadiana area since 2003, Cajun Cart prides itself in superb customer service, top-notch rental, and best-in-class inventory. Give Cajun Carts a call today at 337-896-3411 or go check out their website, CajunCarts.com, to explore the options for your next karting adventure. Remember Cajun Carts when you're looking for your next golf cart, and tell them Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative sent you. How you doing, everyone? Isaac Hayes here, and before we get back to the show, I would like to ask you for a favor. My wife is a school teacher at a local private school here in our hometown, and she needs some supplies. Now, I normally don't come do this, but I would like to ask you if you could help my wife with her school supplies. So I have the link in the description. If you can, hit that link and help my wife out, get some school supplies so she can go ahead and help the kids learn. We believe in a biblical education for children, and that's what this school does. She is teaching first and second grade. She's a teacher helper, I believe, and they need some help with school supplies. So at the bottom in the description, you're going to see a phrase where I say, help my wife out with school supplies, and that is the Amazon link. If you can, go ahead and purchase a few things to help her out. We appreciate it, and we thank you for your support.
With your blood, cleansed and made us whole. Not one hoof, not one soul.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the second segment of the Cajun Conservative Show, talking about the Hunter Biden situation. And you know, I guess it hasn't been asked too much. This is one of the only articles I've seen on this, which was written on July 27, and this was by the Daily Wire, their reporters over there. The White House brushed off on Thursday the suggestion that President Joe Biden pardon his son Hunter after a judge placed the plea deal on hold. As we talked about it earlier, he got a sweetheart plea deal, and it did not fall through thanks to the judge. The judge asked some questions if it was constitutional. Was this, to stop further crimes? And when she asked the prosecutor, is Mr. Biden still under investigation? And they were like, yes, Hunter Biden is still on investigation. And she was like, well, no, this deal shouldn't go through then because this gives him immunity over future deals. So if they would have got this plea deal, which to be honest with you, I'm very surprised it didn't fall through, but it didn't fall through. And if this would have happened, Just think about it. If this would have happened, they would have charged Hunter Biden, and all he would have to say was immunity. Hey, look, I got immunity through this deal. Well, when asked about this, they asked him, would Hunter Biden be pardoned after the plea deal was on hold? White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said no. She responded to a reporter who asked if there was any possibility of a pardon. She quickly moved on to another question. She didn't go ahead and deal with this. But ladies and gentlemen, she says this, okay? She's like, no. And does she mean like, no, there wouldn't be a pardon? Or no, we're not going to get into this conversation right here. And ladies and gentlemen, I really want to, know about that, because look, and I've said this a while back on the podcast, Hunter Biden thinks he can get away with anything, literally anything. Come on, this dude, look, I honestly believe that was his cocaine in the White House. And they can't find if this would have been just a regular jock in the White House that was touring the White House, he would already been put in jail. But it's kind of funny, and you start hearing the reports how they ask where the cocaine is and see if we can get DNA off the bag, and they're like, well, we destroyed everything. Why on the hell do you destroy evidence? It was cocaine in the White House. We had to destroy it. No, you didn't. And it's kind of funny how all of a sudden that story is brushed away through the media. As we said, a lot in the media and a lot of talk show hosts are trying to defend Biden and trying to defend his son. Ladies and gentlemen, I honestly think, and this is just my opinion, that Hunter Biden would get pardoned by his daddy. And the media, this is how they would spin it. Well, that's his son. Nobody wants to see their son in jail. Nobody does, but not everybody has the power of pardon either. So we have to see how this work out. Like I said, this plea deal that didn't go through is going to go to a court date. We don't know how long. Possibly Biden might not even be in office no more. So we would have to see how that will work out. But ladies and gentlemen, honestly, I got to ask that question. Do you honestly think that Hunter Biden would not get pardoned by his daddy? Do you honestly think that would not happen? Me personally, I would say yes, it would. And all you would hear is Joe Biden go on the television and do a big press conference and say the reason he pardoned his son because his son did not know what he was doing and all this stuff. We would have to see how this plays out. And look, like I said, will Joe Biden be the president of the United States by then? We don't know. There's a 2024 election coming up. So we would have to see of what would happen in going forward. But I honestly do think Hunter Biden would get pardoned by his daddy. That's just my opinion of it. All right, critics sounds alarms on Biden administration bid to destroy free speech after Facebook's censorship accusations. This happened after Jim Jordan unleashed the Facebook files. A social media giant censored Americans because of Biden's White House pressure. This article that I'm about to read from is from from the Daily Wire. The House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan released Intel meta documents on Thursday that he said was evidence of the White House improperly pressuring Facebook and Instagram into censoring posts. The Congressman said in a trend posted to X, which is formerly known as Twitter, that he was unveiling part 1 of the Facebook files, which appears to be a nod to the Twitter files obtained by his panel, only after he threatened to move forward with holding Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg in contempt of Congress. Jordan said that the plan is being placed on hold unless big tech giant stops cooperating with his investigation. Never before released Intel documents subpoenaed by the Justice Committee proved that Facebook and Instagram censored posts and changed their contents monitoring policies because of unconstitutional pressure from the Biden White House. Jordan began. Then they go ahead and break down Jordan, the first half of 21, social media companies like Facebook face tremendous pressure from the Biden White House, both publicly and privately, to crack down on alleged misinformation, Jordan says. And they go through a timeline of all this that has happened. Like I said, we have another news article right here that talks about critics, and this is from Fox News. where it breaks down a few people that went ahead and criticized the president and the White House for censoring certain posts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it right here. And look, I'm on all on social media platforms. I don't have an Instagram account for the Cajun Conservative. I do have a private Instagram account, which I hardly never use. I don't like Instagram, but we're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on all social media platforms, we're on YouTube and all that good stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, if this is true, if Jim Jordan is correct and he has these documents and these documents prove that Joe Biden and his White House and his administration went ahead and pressured Facebook and Instagram to go ahead and to censor certain posts that he did not like, that is an infringement on people's First Amendment rights. Well, and I can hear you that are on the left right now. You're making the argument, well, hold on, Isaac. Isn't Facebook a privately owned company? Yes, it is. Well, don't they have the right to go ahead and tell people not what to post and what to post? They have the absolute right to do so. And you on the left might be thinking, well, how is that against the First Amendment? Because the government went to a private company and told them, I can't say the government, the White House, the administration called Facebook, called Instagram, or whoever they do, Meta. They went ahead and called Meta, and they told Meta, you have to censor this certain speech because it's misinformation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we heard a while back that the Hunter laptop story that was censored throughout all big tech, and they were trying to say that this story was wrong, that the New York Post, come to find out in an email, it was proven that the FBI acknowledged that was Hunter Biden's laptop. But what does big tech media do? They went ahead and listened to the government, and they censored people that went ahead and talked about this. Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, look, I know you on the left might be saying, well, yeah, everything's an impeachable offense to you. When a president goes ahead and tells a private company that you don't have a right to go ahead and you have to listen to the government and they infringe on the First Amendment right, that is an impeachable offense. Because the Constitution and the president, the president is supposed to acknowledge and to protect the Constitution. But ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing that's not happening. I had a story earlier that with the gun bill that passed last year, if a school offers hunting and outdoor and archery curriculums to help kids to learn how to hunt properly, they are not getting funded because they're promoting gun violence. That's an infringement of the Second Amendment. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason that this is happening is because Joe Biden don't give two flips about the Constitution. He's more worried about his power and his room of authority. Joe Biden does not want you, the American citizens, to have any rights. The rights belongs to the government, according to the President of the United States. I've said this on the last podcast where we were talking about him coming after your stove, coming after your hot water tank, coming after your electric vehicle. They can have all the pleasures of life. They can have all the freedoms they want because they're part of the government. But you, the peasant, the United States citizen, y'all ain't worthy of luxuries like the government gets. Oh, Isaac, that is your opinion. Look, I'm going to say this. Actions speak louder than words. If Jim Jordan is correct, and these documents are smoking guns to Joe Biden pressuring private companies to censor you, the American people, you should be worried as a citizen of these great United States. Because if a president can go ahead and go to a media company and tell them you cannot allow this, and this, that is no longer, he's not longer of a free, the president of a free society. He's becoming a dictator. Because what do dictators do? Dictators take away your speech and they take away your right to bear arms. That is the beginning of someone trying to take over a nation. Oh, guys, you're giving Biden way too much credit. I might. But ladies and gentlemen, he is showing that he is part of a communistic agenda. Not the president, not Joe Biden. Like I said, actions speak louder than words. When you have a president and his administration telling people what to censor because it goes against them, that we need to vote that man out of office. And it's also funny, I mentioned dictatorship. You remember a while back, they were mad at Fox News because they put wannabe dictator on the screen. But if you remember, CNN, MSNBC, and all these people would call President Trump a wannabe dictator. He was trying to take over America. He was trying to stop our legal system. They threw that line that Trump wanted to be a dictator. I heard it on the left all the time. Trump ain't a president. Trump wants to be a dictator. But it's kind of funny that this was the man that went ahead and protected our First Amendment rights, our Second Amendment rights, protect our rights as citizens under the Constitution of the United States. But now we have a president that has been proven time and time again that he's trying to take away your First Amendment right. He's been trying to take away your Second Amendment right. And you have people on the left praising this president. Yeah, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. While slowly taking away the freedoms that the people that are praising him have. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to get angry. It makes me upset as a red-blooded American that we have a president that would go ahead and force Meta to censor people like yours truly. Also, we have to ask, why didn't the media pick this up? I'm reading this on Fox News, Breitbart, Daily Wire, all these are all conservative news networks. To my knowledge, CNN has not reported this. CNN has not talked about anything like the ordinary. You have people that are there that are saying things about Donald Trump, but CNN has not mentioned this about Biden. And apparently, CNN can say whatever. One judge says CNN uses the big lie regarding Trump isn't defaming. Trying to defame Donald Trump is his opinion. This is according to CNN.com. But ladies and gentlemen, where is the media? Remember back in I think it was Watergate when the media broke out. The media played a big part in exposing that crime. But ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden has so many skeletons in his closet, and the media ain't saying nothing. And if they run with it, it's maybe 15 seconds at the most. But ladies and gentlemen, and look, we got to ask another question. Let that be Trump. Trump went to social media and say, well, you cannot go ahead and print that because it went against me. You would have CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS, and whatever other major news network out there talking about how Trump is violating the First Amendment and that he would need to go. If you also remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is why the judge told Biden you cannot go ahead and talk to media companies, and they're trying to appeal it right now because the judge said this is on the verge of violating the First Amendment right. But what does Biden do? Biden don't care. Biden's going to do what he wants to do because in his mind, he's all ruling, he's all powerful, and he can do whatever he wants. If it's not him, it's the powers behind him. And ladies and gentlemen, that is scary. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back in a few moments. How you doing, everyone? Isaac Hayes here, host of Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative. Are you in the market for a new or used golf cart? Look no further. Cajun Cart has the carting companion you're looking for. Located at 3023 Northwest Avenger Thruway in Lafayette, Louisiana, Cajun Cart is your authorized club car, easy-go, Cushman, and Gorilla dealer. When dealing with Cajun Carts, you're not only purchasing a product or service, but you're also investing in the name. Serving the Acadiana area since 2003, Cajun Cart prides itself in superb customer service, top-notch rental, and best-in-class inventory. Give Cajun Carts a call today at 337-896-3411 or go check out their website, CajunCarts.com, to explore the options for your next karting adventure. Remember Cajun Carts when you're looking for your next golf cart, and tell them Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative sent you. All right, everybody, welcome back to the third and final segment of the Cajun Conservative Show today. We're going to go ahead and sidestep politics right now. And the reason, let's just say it like this, the reason I picked this topic is I was listening to a local radio station, 96.5 KPL, and the two hosts were talking about this, or they were talking to a local politician, and this discussion came out, and it was a bizarre hypothetical situation came up in there where they were saying that this story would be a lot bigger if the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden crime family synagogue was not in the news. And they said that some believe, because this story has come out, this is why the Hunter Biden incident is so is making headway news. To be honest with you, I don't think so, but this is some people's thinking that this next story that I'm talking about is so big and it's so newsworthy that the media or the government don't want you to know about this. What am I talking about? Well, there was 3 guys that went in front of Congress the other day, and their names are let me go ahead and pull their name. David Favre, Ronald Graves, and another guy, let's see, David Christian went ahead and appeared in front of Congress. They went ahead and they talked about UFOs, and they were I say UFOs. They have it's funny how they have redefined UFOs. I remember growing up, and now that UFOs was unidentified flying objects. Now they call it unidentified aerial phenomenons. And this was UAP. So they've changed the definition of UFOs from unidentified flying objects to unidentified aerial phenomenons. But they made some claims at this event, this hearing, where one was asked about, do you think the government has evidence of alien life form? And in the words he was saying, I can't talk about that in a public setting. Then he made a comment about that possibly the government has it, and it was these people have come out now. Like I said, I've been getting story after story on this. Fox News did a whole interview with this guy for Fox News Digital, and he said the historical congressional hearing this week was an influential point in a interview with Fox News. It does certainly feel like it was an influential point. We saw a lot of interest from the representatives that attended. The questions were really on point. They were very serious. And I think they were a bit shocked of how big a national security concern this actually can represent, Graves said Thursday of House members presiding over the hearing. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put on my biblical hat on because, look, first off, there is no proof that there is UFOs or other forms of life out there. There is some commentators that if I would meet them, I would glad to call them my friend. I would like to call them my colleagues. I'm on a smaller scale than them. But there's some out there that look at this story and saying this is the biggest story ever, that aliens really do exist, and that the government is hiding all this information. As I said, this is why a lot of people say, well, this is why the Hunter Biden and the Joe Biden stories have ramped up so much, because the government is trying to stop people from hearing about these aliens. First off, it's making Biden look bad. I don't think the government will want to do that to make the president and his son look bad. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not about that. Okay, this story, I don't know why this story has not gotten more momentum. I'm to be honest with you, I'm very surprised. But going back to this, look, I'm not going to doubt these guys. I believe they're sincere. They probably saw some things that they can't explain. But ladies and gentlemen, there is no proof, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, that there is other life forms outside of planet Earth. Now, I was hearing a person say the other day, because they were talking about God and stuff. They said they believe in one God. They just don't see how God create planet Earth and nothing else around our planet. Ladies and gentlemen, there is spiritual beings out there. There is. If you read the Bible, the Bible says that Satan roams through heaven and earth, saying that he is the atmosphere is his domain. A lot of people have the misconception that the devil's in hell. The Bible doesn't indicate that. Now, a lot of you might be saying, well, Isaac, you're quoting the Bible, or you're basing the Bible on the facts of besides these three men. Yeah. Because the Bible does not talk about other life forms. He don't talk about other planets. Is it possible God could do that? Absolutely. God can make other planets where those beings listen to him more than we do, but there's no indication in the Bible. Now, there is a film out there called Unidentified. It was a movie by Rich Cristiano Films, and it was a movie that was based on this whole topic. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. Alien life forms. A lot of people might be asking, well, Isaac, do you believe in that? No, I don't believe in it. But at the same time, are they seeing something? And look, I don't take witnesses' accounts very lightly, because, it's the same thing with people that they see Bigfoot. A lot of people, you don't believe in Bigfoot? It isn't. Look, there's too much eyewitness account. There's something out there. We just don't know what it is. Same thing with unidentified. I'm trying to remember how they say that. Unidentified. Let's see. I want to make sure I say it right, because it's the UAPs. Phenomenal. Unidentified aerial phenomenons. So I'm not. There's something out there. Now, you, the listener, I won't look down on you if you believe in UFOs. You have every right to do that. But like I said, the Bible doesn't indicate that. Now, I do believe that a lot of people that see this might be involved with something. They have opened the door to spirituality and stuff like that. Like I said, this is my Christian background talking now. But ladies and gentlemen, people that say, well, we seen UFOs, and 9 out of 10, it was a spiritual encounter, good or bad. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, look, these men that they came out, they're brave. They came out and they said something. I'm not going to go ahead and look down upon them, because they're very intelligent people. They were part of our military. But, ladies and gentlemen, this story, why ain't this story getting big? Well, there's a lot of other things in this world, but in reality, a lot of Americans don't believe this. And I think this is why a story like this that hasn't came out, bigger than what it was. Like I said, especially me, I'm a political commentator, and I'm also a Bible study podcaster. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good topic. You could always talk about this, but excuse me. No, I don't believe that there is UFOs. I don't know if they found it. Look, if they found something, I would like to know what it is. Now, but because of national security, you think about this too, okay? If you had a being that traveled thousands and thousands of light years to come to our little rock that we called Earth, why wouldn't they go ahead and just annihilate us? What is very interesting about planet Earth? You get what I'm saying? It goes to the point, I said this a while back. If alien life form would come, they'll come to America and say, take us to your leader. I don't think they would ever come back to this planet. It's, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see the point of that. Okay, I can understand, like us. We send satellites out there. We want to see other planets and all that stuff. We're fascinated with all that. I'm fascinated with the outside our world called Earth. But ladies and gentlemen, really, I don't see I just don't see an advanced civilization traveling thousands and thousands of light years, lightning speed, and come here to this world and be like, no, we're not gonna go ahead and leave anything behind. We're not. I just don't, like I said, could I be wrong? Possibly, but I'm gonna stay firm with what the Bible says. The Bible does not indicate any other life form outside this planet, and I'm gonna stick with that. And Isaac, ain't that a crouch? No, it's not. I believe my God knows a lot more than I do. Look, if he didn't put it in the Bible, there's a reason why he didn't put it in there. If there is something, but ladies and gentlemen, there's all this alien stuff. I honestly think, now this could be me, I honestly think that if this story would have gained a lot of traction, it would have been the media trying to hide the Biden scandals. That's what I think, and it isn't working. Good thing we have Americans that are more well educated on are well informed to say, look, we're not gonna let that disturb us right now. So, all right. So my last story of the day, it involves the presidential race that is going on for the Republican side. Megyn Kelly sat down with Ron DeSantis on one of her latest podcast episodes, and she asked candidate DeSantis, who is Governor DeSantis of Florida, if he would go ahead and pardon former President Donald Trump with the legal ballots that is surrounding January 6th. She said, given your view on the weaponization of government, would you commit to pardoning former President Trump on any federal charges against him? And this was the response of DeSantis. Well, what I've said is very simple. I'm going to do what's right for the country. DeSantis said, I don't think it would be good for the country to have almost an 80-year-old former president go to prison. Megyn Kelly asked him the question, so that's a yes? DeSantis replied, it just doesn't seem like it would be a very good thing. DeSantis continued, and I look at Ford, who pardoned Nixon. I took some heat for it, but at the end of the day, it looks like, do we want to move forward as a country, or do we want to be mirror in these past controversies? And I think the public wants a fresh start. I think that we want someone that's going to focus on their issues. We had a lot of things happen over the last 5 years or 6 years. I got that. But going forward, we got all these issues that we've got to deal with. So DeSantis DeSantis vowed to why the pardon power for normal Americans believed to trigger unfairly and to hold these in the swamp in D.C. accountable. He accused President Joe Biden administration of weaponizing the Department of Justice and the FBI to target these political opponents. So he did not go ahead and say he would pardon Donald Trump. But there's an indication in that statement that he don't think it'll be right for the country. Now, he pointed back towards Nixon and Ford. Yes, Ford did get a lot of heat for pardoning Nixon. Now, Nixon did not go through an impeachment trial. I think he was in the middle of an impeachment inquiry, and he went ahead and stepped down, so they pulled the impeachment stuff away from him. Now, I don't know if a president can pardon another president from impeachment, but Nixon was pardoned by Ford, and he did get a lot of heat on that, because our nation is built upon not politicizing or taking care of our political opponents. We are a free democracy. Supposedly that's what made America unique and looked around the world as the greatest country, that our political leaders wouldn't go after their political opponents. This is why Joe Biden is getting a lot of heat from us here at the Cajun Conservative Show and other shows all over the world or all over the country, that where we saying that this is politically motivated to go after Donald Trump. It's kind of funny that they're going after Donald Trump. He is leading double digits over Ron DeSantis, and it's funny if he would get incriminated or if he goes to jail. There's a thought out there that he can't run for president and all that stuff. So they're using this as political fire going into the 2024 election. And Ron DeSantis saying, hey, I would consider pardoning him because that he's trying to stop the politicization of the presidency. And going back to our first segment, the DOJ telling Hunter Biden, hey, or they're sitting Hunter Biden's all these people that are testifying, which I got an article a while ago. The DOJ said we had to clarify we weren't trying to get him out the way so he wouldn't talk to Congress. Like that's more than I believe. But it's kind of funny how the DOJ is doing it. That's politicizing the DOJ, so you don't find on dirt on certain people, but find dirt on other people. And this politicizes the Department of Justice and all of that. Now, going from Ron DeSantis' standpoint, there is another candidate that did make some claims. I say some claims. They made some statements concerning this because Hutchinson, who is Asa Hutchinson, he's the former governor of Arkansas. I believe Sarah Huckabee Sanders took over after him, was on Face the Nation, which is CBS's Sunday morning show. Had to wet my whistle right there. But he was asked about Republican candidates promising to pardon the former president. Now, Asa Hutchinson does not like Donald Trump. He has been calling for Donald Trump to come out of the race. It was asked him this week. Okay, well, I want to, and this was by Margaret Burnett. I don't watch CBS, so I don't know all these hosts. Okay, well, I want to ask you a question about the number of things in terms of who else is in the race. You have already called on Donald Trump to drop out. You have been saying that for some time. Now he's not taking your advice. Let me stop right there. They bring this up to Asa Hutchinson. Does Donald Trump have to take anybody's advice? Look, I talk about Donald Trump a lot on this program, and I wish he wouldn't have run. But Donald Trump does not have to say, the Cajun Conservative don't want him to run, so I'm not going to run. President Trump don't have to listen to Asa Hutchinson. Asa Hutchinson was a governor, and proud. I'm happy that he served his state. But the thing of it is, they don't have to take his advice. So this woman telling Asa Hutchinson, we know you're smarter than Donald Trump, and he won't take your advice. I might be reading into the lines, but I'm just. And now we have those new charges on classified documents. Do you think he should be pardoned for the good of the country, as Ambassador Haley suggested? So apparently, I didn't know that about Nikki Haley, but apparently Nikki Haley suggested that Biden should be pardoned. We also got Ron DeSantis saying that he's probably, if he would get elected, he would pardon Donald Trump. Now, Asa Hutchinson apparently has a different view on it. He says, no, first of all, that should not be any discussion during a presidential campaign. You don't put pardons out there to bring in votes. That is premature. Obviously, if there's a conversation, then the host asks, do you think that's what she's doing? Well, I think that anybody who promises pardon during a presidential campaign is not serving our system of justice well, and it's inappropriate. So you're telling me now? Look. I thought the only one that didn't have a brain here was Chris Christie. Chris Christie is going after Donald Trump. That's his whole campaign, is to keep Donald Trump out of office, not to remove Biden out of office and to win the election. But Asa Hutchinson is saying, it is inappropriate and we're not letting justice prevail. The problem with this right here is that justice is not blind in these two situations. I talked about it in the first segment, how Hunter Biden is apparently getting everything hand slapped to him and say, don't do it again. And he continues on doing it because he thinks he can get away with it. But you have Donald Trump, if he snaps his finger the wrong way, they want to throw another indictment on him. We talked a few episodes a while back of how much money was spent on these counsels, the special counsels. Jack Smith. Everybody knows who Jack Smith is. They don't know who is the special prosecutor that is supposed to be investigating Joe Biden. And if you look at the money situation, I think they only spent like $1 million on the Biden investigation, while on Trump they're spending $9 million on Jack Smith's investigation. So for Asa Hutchinson to say, well, we need to let justice play out. We're already seeing that the Biden administration is politicizing the DOJ, the FBI, and these special counsels. So, continue on with this. You are unique as a Republican candidate, because while many of the Republicans on the trail are using these phrases, weaponizing of the justice system, you are advising avoiding that. And in fact, you have put forward a plan to overhaul federal law enforcement agencies. The Washington Post editor board came close to endorsing it just a few days ago, saying that the idea should be taken seriously. Explain that approach. And this is the last statement of Asa Hutchinson. Well, our justice system is the envy of the world. Not right now. And you think about it, the only envy of the world it is the people that want to live free. But dictators don't envy our justice system because it's supposed to be fair. But now we're moving more to a tutorial justice system that if you're part of the president and his administration or his family, you can get off scot-free. And the media is helping him do that. Now, like I said, if it was Donald Trump and stuff, it would be a totally different story. They would blast Donald Trump for doing that. It's what sets our democracy apart, that we're under the rule of law. And if you undermine that system of justice, then you're undermining our democracy. The problem with it is, why don't he go ahead and criticize Biden? Again, they're talking about Donald Trump, pardoning Donald Trump, and he's coming against Nikki Haley and coming against Ron DeSantis for saying, hey, they would possibly pardon Donald Trump. But he's saying that we're under a rule of law, but Hunter Biden is getting away with everything under the book. And it's a human system, so there's going to be flaws in it. This is Asa Hutchinson continue, that you got to get corrected and adjust. And so many mistakes are made. And I don't like the way the Justice Department has handled the Hillary Clinton case. I think there's been errors that they have made in the investigations that was found in the Durham report. But let's address this by reform, and that's why I put out the reform proposal to reduce the jurisdiction of the FBI to make them more accountable, more focused on the mission and their national security responsibilities. So let's reform it. Let's make it accountable, and that's the approach we should take as a party. It's about the rule of law and supporting our justice system. And look, I'm not against the last phrase. We should go ahead and as a party respect the rule of law and support our system of justice. But the thing of it is, Mr. Hutchinson don't realize that the current president of the United States is using that to attack his chief political opponent and to protect his son. So yes, we should talk about how it is partisan. I don't know what was wrong with the Durham report. The Durham report was done very well. The Hillary Clinton was favoritism. You never hear somebody deleting 30,000 emails and ruining evidence and gets a slap on the wrist and still walking around willy-nilly. But ladies and gentlemen, on the whole topic of should Donald Trump be pardoned, let's see the evidence. Let's see what happens. I agree with that. That's what Asa Hutchinson probably was talking about. But it is clear and obvious that this is not good for the nation. But at the same time, this is all politically motivated by the president of the United States and others in the establishment to stop Donald Trump. And I think this is why Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis says, look, we're going to go ahead and probably pardon him if we're elected. And we would have to see what happens with all that. But some interesting takes right there. Like I said, I don't understand Hutchinson. I don't understand Chris Christie, and apparently they're making their whole argument is that Donald Trump shouldn't be in office. Donald Trump is not the right guy, and they're the people to take him out. And ladies and gentlemen, for them not to see that there's a partisanship in this, it disturbs me. And I don't think them two should be president. And to be honest with you, I don't think they will be because they're under 1%. I don't know if they made the debate thing. I think Christie did, but Hutchinson didn't. All right, so with that being said, I want to thank you for listening to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show. If you're a regular listener that listens right when the show drops, I do apologize again for the show being late. There's had a lot of things going on, but I'm here and I got an episode down, and I want to thank you for being patient with me. So until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. Remember to hit the subscribe button or the follow button on the platform you're listening on. That helps me out with the show to get the show out there. And also, if you want to support the show financially wise, you can hit the link at the bottom of the description. Thank you. We appreciate you. Until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. Remember, Jesus Christ is King, and he's coming back, and he's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart, because Jesus has overcome the world. If you want to know Jesus, Lord and Savior, reach out to me. I'll tell you how to make Jesus your Savior and heaven your home. Until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. You have a good one.
He is the open door.